Welcome to the battleground of the gods.
Welcome, challengers, to Battleground of the Gods, a Smite podcast. I am your host, Tep Nation, and joining me today we have Nevea03.
Hey everybody, how are you doing?
And Willow1771.
I am your co-host. I just like the way you
like
said,
that?
I am your host.
Trying up some inflection.
I am your host.
I was really expecting a more Depp-like response there. I am your host, Depp Nation.
Host. Depp
Excessive
Nation.
dramatic pauses.
Yes. Oh, I love it. No,
The meme
3-man
was
in it this week. We're pulling a joust. Normally
Hey, we 3-manned it last week.
We
and
try
it
to
was
be
a throwback.
conquest.
Sometimes we try the siege, but you know the ultimate goal is to be a conquest, and today
Right.
we're
Or
joust.
assault. It could be assault.
That's true. You know, we do have the assault main in our repertoire here.
Assault PlayStation
is
main.
Celebrating
Olympian.
this week. That's why he's not here.
Hell yeah, brother. Hell yeah. Well, you know what, ladies and gentlemen, myself being the gentleman, let's get into our games this week.
God, why does this
Nev,
meme
how are
live
your
on?
games?
All right, you know what? I'll make a deal with you, Willow. When Hihei/Kyle stops saying that I have multiple personalities, that's when I'll stop saying ladies.
Well, you
Deal.
brought it up. It had died. You brought it up right now. It had already died.
Yeah, what you don't know is what Kyle says in our league chat. It's still going.
Wow.
I'll
Sounds
give you
like
that.
a league's toxic.
Yeah, it sounds like there's some toxic assholes in that league. Well, you do play with Kyle, so.
Ouch.
And then we got Nev, the monster of the mid lane. Tell us how it's going.
All right. Well, as everybody knows, that fucking tabulous Poseidon skin came out this week. Can we just have a huge, just giant thank you to Hi-Rez for that skin?
That
It
skin is fantastic.
so patriotic.
That skin is
Thank you,
fucking
Hi-Rez.
fantastic. But I have to say I am pissed off at Poseidon. But go ahead, I'll talk about it in my games.
Okay, well,
Wow.
we decided to celebrate the Poseidon skin. We were going to have a conquest game with, of course, the Poseidon,
Yep.
a Ra,
Oh, yeah.
a Nike,
Ooh.
a Zeus,
Ooh.
and that slick new Vamana skin. We had a Team America conquest team.
America.
That's
How
Yeah,
did-
but
right.
you didn't have Lady Liberty.
Ra was better for this idea that we had going.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, you gotta get the dudes without sleeves.
We won 19-16. It was a very brief
Ooh.
game. We were up against a Erlong, Thanatos, Nuwa, Bacchus, and Shibalanke, and we won that conquest for America. So there
For
you
America!
Hell yeah. America.
go. The game right before that, I decided to try out Vulcan with our team comp for practices for League this week, and went 11-5. Whoa.
I have to ask, did you start the turret?
Yeah, I started level 1 turret, and I rushed Book of Tooth.
Yep, that's the build. I've been doing it recently in ranked, and you start the turret, go to wave, clear the wave, steal their red.
Yep. Yeah,
Wonderful.
no, I decided after this game that I'm going to finish talking about briefly here, but after this game, I was like, I'm going to try Vulcan in the league. More on
Good.
that in a moment. So, yeah, went 11-5 as Vulcan with this team comp. We had Rick on Erlong Shin, so we had, the stuns and stuff.
As you do.
Yeah, we had Silent Aces on Guan Yu. We were playing a few games with our friend Coffin, who was Soul Carry. And our random went Zong solo. So we had some fun. That was the game that I was telling you guys about earlier, where I had a Hades counterpart, and he was a little scary in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, little scary. But because of that and how much fun we had with it, we decided last night was week 2 of the split. We decided that I wanted to be Vulcan again and try him out for the league match. We finished that game in under 20 minutes. Vulcan's fun. You just plop his turret. Yeah, so that's what I did. I leveled his turret, rushed Book of Thoth, and placed a turret on speed and walked over to red just to make sure that they weren't going to invade. Once the speed buff was down, I plopped another turret in mid to help clear wave, and I went and stole red.
As you do.
As Vulcan does. I actually played against a Vulcan last night who didn't do that, and I was like, why wouldn't you? It's free stealing of red. Like, you just get red for free.
Just
free steals.
He has such good early clear, and I was able to level up fairly quickly those first few levels.
You hit 2 on the first wave, and then you just go to their red, and you have your backfire and your turret. So you use the turret to tank the red, and
I go meatball second.
Oh, what?
And then backfire. Mm-hmm.
Backfire does more damage.
I know it does. But I like the meatball for the clear, like on mid-harpies.
Like, to throw it over the wall while your jungler clears it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, while the jungler or the support is clearing that, I'll plop a meatball across the wall.
I'll give you that.
Clear that. And then
I still like backfire.
And then level 3, I get the backfire. Yeah. Well, I mean, the backfire is good too with the turret because of the mark. But
yeah, I like backfire because you can place your turret, backfire the red, and the turret will tank the red camp so that you don't die to it or take a whole bunch of poke to it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, I might go backfire second when I play some more smite.
I'm trying to think. But you get, if you steal their red, go back to wave, and by the time you get your red, you're getting level 3, I think, just about then. So you still have your meatball for over the wall stuff.
Yeah. I mean, it's only just a few minutes in between, because this clear is so quick. But yeah, no, that was a lot of fun. So you might see some more Vulcan coming out of the bot G Girthworms. Playing some more Vulcan mid. Our second game last night, who did I go? Oh, I went Poseidon. And we had some crazy team synergy going on with our team. I didn't feel like I was very impactful that game because Silent Aces went Kerberos, and it was the first time he had played Kerberos in the league.
Wait, what?
And Kerberos or Cerberus, it depends on who you pronounce it.
I'm just giving you shit. Ulier.
Oh, man. You know what? Uyer, yeah, I've seen some Uyer in the league.
You know what? Willow, spell that.
I don't know how.
There you go.
I don't know if it's a word.
But he was the MVP that game. He I don't know what he leveled. I don't know his priority on his levels, but he leveled something and was just doing a crap ton of damage to everybody. So I was just like, well, I'll just keep placing whirlpools so nobody can jump out, and you just keep doing your thing, buddy. You got this. So, but yeah, other than that and the hat, which I'm sure we'll talk about later, I don't think
you do have one thing.
I do?
You played a duel.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, so I put that in the Discord as a reminder, and then I already forgot. Guys, all right, so last week I told you guys that I ventured into Rank Conquest for the very first time. What I didn't tell you is I also ventured into Rank Duel for the very first time. I played one game and I was like, nope, not ready. I'm not ready. I gotta do other things. So that first, unfortunately, the very first Rank Duel game I ever played, was in fact a loss. But, it wasn't a long, drawn-out game. I saw that I was beat, and I just surrendered. I think it was 15 minutes into the game. I was like, there's no way. I can't do it. Goodbye.
That's usually about how long they last.
However, yesterday, I was waiting for my team to queue up so we could play our league games last night, and so I was like, well, I'll just do a ranked duel because it's just me, and if I want to get out, I can just surrender and be out, and no worries. So I get into picks and bans.
Who are you picking and banning? Or I guess banning first.
I ban things that I personally don't want to deal with. So, right. I banned Anubis, for an example. I didn't want to have to deal with an Anubis.
That's pretty fair. At lower levels, Anubis stomps.
I also banned AMC because I hear that
rightly so.
Yeah, I hear that he's a monster in duels. So, I banned AMC. I think I banned Hades. No, I banned Hercules. I thought about banning Hades, but then I was like, I don't want to deal with a Hercules because he got, the health regen and a giant boulder, and it's a tiny map, and I think I banned Merlin. So those were the 4 that I had banned. My opponent passed bans.
Oh, what a cheeky skank.
So
yeah, he wanted to pick something in particular.
I was like, all right. Yeah, so that was the other thing. So he was banned first. So I was like, why is he not banning anything? And so I was like, well, I'm wondering if he's looking for something in particular. So let me think about some more of the more meta duel gods. So that's why I said I banned Anubis, because I had seen Anubis played a lot. So
yeah,
I was like, I don't want to deal with that. So I go through all my bans. He passes every single one, and he locks in. And then I lock in. So I lock in a Zhongqi.
Oh, solid pick.
Thank you.
He's pretty bully.
And I go up against a Ganesh.
Really?
Really? And
past bans picked Ganesh.
You know what, though? He was slapping. Yeah, he passed bans and picked Ganesh. I would not have thought to ban Ganesh. But you know what? Damage Ganesh kind of hurts. I've actually played against Damage Ganesh in mid lane. There was a team that I played against that went mid Ganesh, and he slaps if you build him.
Oh, he hurts.
He
gives
hurts a bunch.
He gives himself a bonus. Is it bonus to damage? And then he also has built-in protections in his 2. He slaps if you do it right.
So, I don't remember all the back and forth. I stole red a couple of times from him while he was working on it. He was sitting there autoing it, and I would just do my 1 and do the tick damage and get it.
Yep.
I stole his blue a few times. I got the minis a couple times just to get some levels and everything like that. I don't remember who got the tower first or what, but he got down to my Phoenix, and I was like, no. So I get out of fountain, I blink into him and do my whole kit and kill him, and walk down lane, just wildly clearing everything, get to his Phoenix, clear the Phoenix. He comes running out of fountain. I'm assuming to try and do the same thing that I just did to him before he died. Yep. But he misses his ult and did not get the stun on me with the 3. And then it was over. I killed him again and he surrendered. So
that's pretty GG.
7 and 5. So it was a
he played pretty well then.
21 minute game. Yeah, no, he had a really good Ganesh. So if my Damage Ganesh opponent from my ranked duel is listening somewhere out there,
good job, man.
Good
GG's.
job, buddy. That freaking hurt. I was so excited when I queued it, and I was like, I get to play Zhongqi in ranked duel. I'm up against a Ganesh. And then he kills me a few times, and I'm like, I'm in a ranked duel against a Ganesh, and I'm getting my ass kicked.
Yep.
how awkward is it gonna be when I talk about my games this week and I'm like, yeah, I died to a Ganesh. But no, it hurt a bunch. Thank you guys for reminding me that I had to talk about the rank duel.
Yup. How are your games this week, Willow?
It's been up and down. Yesterday was my birthday. Thankfully, nobody in the
Happy
Discord
birthday!
Happy
remembered.
belated birthday!
Not one
Well,
person
I
in the
didn't-
Discord remembered, and I'm okay with
I
that.
didn't know.
No, it's okay. The only reason I thought people
No,
might
you know
is
what?
because
It's
Kyle
not
was.
okay. You know
Oh,
what?
Jesus.
It's
Here
not
we go.
okay. It's not okay. Hold on. Hold on.
Oh, Jesus.
Happy belated birthday, Willow.
Now my phone's gonna get blown up with ats.
Everyone.
Everybody at Willow,
Say
happy
happy
birthday! Happy birthday!
And apologize for not remembering. Myself
But ma-
included.
But make sure they're separate posts. You have to add them each time.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So
He's gonna
anyway,
love it, guys.
I've continued my ranked grind. I lose a lot still. I don't even know what to say when I lose, because there's just like times when my team is just feeding and there's literally nothing you can do. I played a Vulcan game and I started off really well. I stole their red, I got our red, like I played really well the first like 3 minutes. And then the Ratatasker showed up with ultimate and him and the Scylla literally ran at me the entire game, and my team's like, why are you feeding? I've been rat ulted 4 out of the 5 times that he's ulted in the first 10 minutes. Like, what do you want me to do? I have 1 relic right now. There's nothing I can do when I'm just getting run at.
Why don't you have more than 1 relic? Why can't you have all the relics, Willow?
Have all the relics. So I literally got run at for the first, I don't know, 15 minutes. And then we got to team fights and the Ratatasker literally ran past everyone to run at me on a regular basis. There was a team fight where our ADC was extremely low and I was probably 3/4 health. And he literally ran past our Gibalanque ADC, who had just used his dash, by the way, to try and kill me. I was like, hello? No peel the entire game. We had a Guan. No, that wasn't the Guan support game. That was a different game where our Guan... I'll talk about that one in a second. But anyway, he just ran at me the entire game. I literally couldn't do anything. I was like 3-9, and my team's like yelling at me. Hello, if you want me to do something, you have to help me stay alive against the Ratatasker, who is literally running at me this entire game.
He just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, that's all it
As
was.
you
He just
do.
wanted to say hi and kill me on a repeat. I still did a ton of damage because I'd always get my ultimate off before he killed me. I killed him a few times. I outplayed him once really hard. He tried to ult me and I backfired out of it. And he landed on... Or I meatballed right after, and he landed into my meatball. And died to my turret as he tried to run away. It was pretty funny. I had like 100 health at that point in time. Yeah, 100. And I somehow waddled away as Vulcan. You know how Vulcan waddles.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he waddles.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I played a Discordia game where I had wards up. If I was not in lane, not paying attention to my mid opponent, she took advantage and rotated a lot. And of course our duo lane with 0 wards standing at their T1 tower is pinging me because I was at my red buff and not paying attention to my lane opponent. So it's my fault that she rotated. Yeah, I got a lot of pings from that one. I had to bring this point up while I'm talking about it. I was watching a Double J video yesterday, and he just happened to bring this point up. At a point, an enemy missing call isn't really going to save your life. if you're standing at the enemy's T1 tower, you're probably gonna die if you're getting rotated on. Plus, it's kind of hard to always keep track of where your opponent is, because there's buffs, there's back camps, there's mid camps, there's all kinds of stuff on the map that would cause the mid laner or the duo lane or the solo lane to rotate out of lane, and you can't keep track of where she is 24/7. That's why there's this wonderful item called wards. They're only 50 gold. I buy 2 almost every time I back.
I don't know what those are.
You're a good warder, Nev.
Thank you.
I've never played with you, but from what I've gathered, you're pretty good at being consistent about warding. Anyway.
Can I interrupt real quick?
Okay.
When you said that just now.
Yeah.
The other day, I played AMC mid. And the hives are like mini wards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the end of the game, I mean, we won that game, but at the end of the game, Rick was like, Nev, how come you didn't place any wards? And I was like, hives?
Oh,
and he was like, oh wait, yeah. I was like,
they're not good wards.
Don't at me. Don't at me right now. Don't at me.
Those are not good wards. Place actual wards, please.
Don't at me.
I do
had
the
so
same,
many hives
I do the
all
same
over
thing
the
when
map.
I play AMC, though. I think, I'm placing hives. Those are covering a huge area. Really, they're only covering, 5 to 7 units or something like that. And if a ranged auto attacker hits them, they don't show up on the map when they walk by, because they can just auto attack them before they get there.
Yeah,
anyway.
That's fair. I mean, I still place some real wards around Fire Giant, but
objectives.
Yeah, but he was just giving me a hard time because I usually have at least 10 a game. So
oh yeah, for sure.
He was like, why didn't you place any wards? I'm like, hives? I don't know.
But I'm really tired of other people blaming people for their own mistakes. Which brings me to my next game and why I'm really annoyed with Poseidon. I think I was playing Kumba. And Kumba has great CC and control. But our ADC was not... Well, our ADC was okay. They had an RDO support who did the harassment strat. She just literally was all over our jungler for the first few minutes. And then their solo laner ended up killing our solo and jungle with the help of the jungler and the RDO. If you're getting harassed like that, just back off. She is losing tons of farm. I was level 6 by the time she hit level 3. That's a huge difference in the support role. Especially at that low a level. Just let her roam. She's not really doing anything. Go find farm elsewhere. If she's harassing you at camps, go to a lane where you have a teammate. Don't fight her, because she is probably going to kill you. There was a point in the game where she was going for our speed buff at level 3, and the Ratatasker was on the speed buff, cleared the speed buff, and was trying to fight her 1v1, and he was already less than half health. And I walk over there, and I got him to go away. I CC'd her so she couldn't chase. He decides to dash back into the RDO with literally no health. And she just turned and basic attacked him and killed him. And I was like, what? What are you were out. Just go back to base. Like, she's not doing anything. There's nothing, like, killing her means literally nothing at this point in time. Just go back to base, get full health, buy something, maybe some wards, and fucking leave her alone. She is literally worthless. She is so far down. Just leave her be. Anyway, that's not even what I was annoyed with the most in this game. We had a mid Zeus who was playing against the Poseidon. And Zeus is very well known for not being very mobile. He bought Aegis. I was pretty pleased with that. But he got Krakened on cooldown. and didn't know how to handle it, and then started blaming me for not being supportive enough. What is Akumba doing to keep you from dying in a Kraken? Like, there's nothing I can do if you just get Krakened on cooldown. I can CC the Poseidon, but it doesn't matter because...
But you still got Krakened.
Yeah, you still got Krakened. Or, I don't remember who their jungler was just running at him after he got Krakened, so he was low health anyway. Like, I am not a magician when it comes to support play. There's only so much a support can do in situations.
You know, Willow, I've been playing support a fair bit, and I've got to say, support's just not fun.
It's not. Well, it's fun in situations. When you are really far ahead and can just bully people, it is really fun.
Well, and at that point, the enemy team's going to forfeit, right?
Yeah, but when your team literally doesn't follow up on any of your damage or any of your CC.
Not only that, but you're constantly like behind on levels. Yep. You're going to be one of the lowest leveled characters.
Yep.
And unless you've got a god where you have, like, I'd say 2 solid forms of CC and maybe movement, like, you're just not going to have a great time.
That's why Erlang Shen is really strong right now. That's why Naja is really strong right now. Hercules is really strong right now. I was watching a tier list by Weekend who he was doing supports. He missed a couple that I think are pretty viable. Like Achilles, I think is really strong. Kukulkan, I think is viable. But his like top end supports for casuals and ranked were like Erlang Shen and Hercules and Naja and Serket and Kumba. High mobility, high CC, really aggressive. And I agree that right now that's the meta. Like if you can't in ranked in Conquest, if you can't run at them, then what are you doing? You're doing nothing for your team because being a good peel bot for your team usually doesn't lead to anything good, and it's really hard to carry. I actually had, no joke, I had a who was it? Izanami. I had an Izanami who started meditation and built straight into Bloodforge, and then built almost straight crit, except for like 2 attack speed items. I think she had Oboe and Atalantis Bow. And then she had like Rage, Deathbringer, and Malice. Yes, because Malice is the item for Izanami. Anyway, you want to know what second relic she bought? She bought Med first.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she bought Med first. Guess what relic she bought second?
I don't know, Shell?
That would be at least viable because she bought nothing for her second relic.
Oh, no.
Oh, God.
Nothing at all. Not an item.
I was going to say Sunder, but...
Nope, she didn't buy an item. Yeah, that was interesting. And then after the game, of course, somebody was pissed because myself and the Collie on our team ended up carrying really hard. I was playing Horus, and we carried hard.
Oh, see, there you go. You've got a movement.
Horus is great in support right now.
A heal dash. Heal dash.
Right? Oh, no. Horus is fantastic in support right now. And I think
a crazy team fight mobility move.
I really think one of the other reasons we won that game is because I played Horus and was able to keep my team alive a bunch. Our Chalk solo went full damage the first like 4 items he built. He finally built like a Mantle of Discord, like 4th or 5th. And then like went back to damage items. I was like, you're just dying, man. Our Merlin was really not good. He couldn't hit his abilities unless I stunned them. We ended up winning. I don't know how. Frenzy OP, let's just say that. We got Fire Giant because of Frenzy. We got a couple Phoenixes because of Frenzy. She was
if you've
really
got a
bad.
team that's good at grouping, Frenzy makes sense.
Oh, Frenzy's fantastic. But afterwards, somebody on the enemy team was really pissed because they should have won the game. They were dominating the first 15 minutes, and then we got late game, and our Kali was able to do stuff, and our Merlin was able to do stuff. Afterwards, the Izanami messaged in the chat, because I said, hey, you should probably buy a second relic next time. He's like, Izanami's a tower killer. That's all I was trying to do. Yes, but crit doesn't do any damage to towers.
You can't crit towers.
Yeah, you can't crit structures. It doesn't do
That's
anything.
not how this works. That's not how any of this works.
And he's like, yeah, I know. Then why would you build crit if you want to kill towers? Anyway, that was my joyous experience with that one. I've had a couple games like that where it was, how did we win this? I don't know. We should have lost. And I've had a couple games where it was, I should have lost this, but somehow I should have won this, but somehow we still lost.
Yeah.
Support isn't fun right now. When I do get support, I've been playing a lot of Horus. I played at Hercules a couple times, but I've been playing a lot of mid carry lately. I feel like some of Freya is super strong, and I'm not a bad Freya. Kronos is really good right now. Jingwei is Jingwei, super safe, gets to late game. That's the other thing I want to talk about real quick. People need to learn god rolls and when their power spikes are. If I'm playing a Kronos, I probably don't want to fight at level 10. I might be able to do a little damage, but if you give me till 20 minutes, 25 minutes, and I have a few items online, I'm probably going to chunk. Anyway.
Oh, yeah.
That's been my week for the most part. Really bad ranked teammates. Oh, the Kali from that first game that we ended up winning was the Guan Yu who was pinging me like crazy the next game. He wanted to trade roles, and I was like, nah, I'm not playing support. He picks Guan Yu himself. And then they're standing at the T1 tower dying over and over again. Don't play Guan support. He's just not good right now. Guan is viable in solo lane, but he is not a good support right now. He doesn't have enough CC to play aggressive.
You don't have silent aces running Guan support.
If you're in a team environment where you're playing with people that you can communicate with, and he can say, I'm going in on my horse, or I'm shredding protections here, or I have a slow on them, I have a heal group up, like when you can communicate that stuff, he is a viable support. I wouldn't say he's good, but he's definitely viable, especially if you can play him at a high level. And I'm sure that I know Silent's a good Guan from what I've heard. I have a Diamond Guan. I love Guan. He's one of my favorite gods, but I know he's just not viable in a ranked setting.
Would he be a good solo, though?
Yes, I think Guan is a good solo because he can farm and get ahead. Like, he can just come to team fights late and be obnoxious. But that's the difference between a support and a solo laner, is that the support gets behind, and then his effectiveness is different than a solo laner who can farm really well and get ahead, and is getting a whole lot of solo farm and can come to team fights at even or even ahead. A support is always behind. So you're just losing out on some stuff.
So that's the thing. You almost need to bring the solo laner in to play the role of support, and then have your support go over to the solo lane at the start and just farm up.
Sure. I don't think that's quite how that works.
I mean, like, really, if you frag early in duo, get your lane ahead with an aggressive support, and then you've got I'm not going to say passive solo lane, but someone who's able to farm. Like, you're not going to send Kumba over there. That's dumb.
Well, if your duo lane is already aggressive, then your support should already be roaming.
Yeah, your support should be ahead
so eventually he
roaming.
would get over there anyway.
Yeah. Support is in a really weird state right now where bad players stay in lane so long, but then they bully out the enemy ADC. And good players try and rotate, but then their ADC is getting bullied, and their mid is complaining that you're in their farm. Support is not competitive support right now, and it's really obnoxious. I hate it. I hate sitting in a lane for 15 minutes, but you almost have to now because your ADC doesn't know how to not fight into a 2v1. That's the other thing. The ADCs that I've seen played a lot lately are playing way too aggressive. And there's just no reason to. Your job is to farm for the first 15 to 20 minutes. Make sure that your team doesn't lose Gold Fury and not die. Like, if you're not dying, you're being successful in the duo lane. If you get a kill, great, but don't risk your life to get a kill. I almost never go past halfway. Unless I know for a fact where the enemy ADC is and where the jungler is, there's no reason to go past halfway, because you can farm at half, and then if you can hold the wave and steal some XP from the enemy, and then if you can maintain control of the oracles and keep your purple on cooldown, like, there's no reason to die in duo lane. Because your job is to come to a team fight late game and smack and then kill towers. That's it. That's your job. You're killing objectives and you're smacking late game. That's it. I don't know why ADCs think they have to fight for the first 20 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
I really think it comes down to people like kills. That's really it. People just like to fight.
Well, I think a lot of people also put and this is coming from a mid laner here. I think a lot of people put a lot of weight into getting kills.
Yeah,
where
no,
they
agreed.
think that it is more important than doing structure damage or objectives.
Or farming.
I mean, or farming, yeah, but like it's all one package. You can't win the game if you don't have structure or objectives, but you also can't win the game if they're all still on the map. Does that make sense?
No, 100%.
So
you have to be able to...
You kind of have to weight them against each other.
Yeah, exactly. If you can get a pick, and then try and get something off of it. Like, I am a huge proponent of getting a pick in a 3v3 fight and going right to gold. Why not? If they come to you, they're down a man, and you're up a man. Unless you are really low, you can get gold for free, pretty much. Or win a team fight around gold. The concepts of getting a kill and getting an objective afterwards is really hard for some people to understand, because they come from arena, where the only thing that you're really getting is kills. There's no structures, there's no concept of farming, really, because the leveling in arena is basically free. As long as you're around the minions, you're getting free XP, and you're always getting gold, so you're always finishing your build. Like, there's nothing to really think about. In Conquest, it's completely different. You have to know all the camp timers. You have to be on time to your wave clear. You have to be able to push objectives. You have to be able to understand when you can get a kill, when you can't get a kill. It's very overall balanced. Like I said, arena, you're just looking for kills. After you get level 5, use your ults to try and get a kill, and that's it.
And it kind of goes hand in hand with a conversation that we've had before too, where people put a lot of stock in, oh well, I went 10-1 and you went 3-7.
Yep.
Yeah, but I have 4,000 more structure damage than you,
and I did more player damage than you. You just happened to get last hits and not die because you came to the fight late and picked off 2 people. That's like that Vulcan game where I went 2-9. I still had, I think, second highest player damage on the team. The only one who was more than me was the solo laner who was beating on each other for the first 15 minutes of the game.
Yeah, solo can get easy early game damage just because of slapping each other.
But that's the thing. You got to understand the mid laner might die in a team fight. Like, if I'm playing mid, if Nev's playing mid, she might die in that team fight. But if she got enough damage off, then you're still winning that team fight. I think it's very important.
That's honestly, that's something that Kyle had to reassure me, because after one of our league games, I was being hard on myself. I was like, my KDA was crap, and I was underfarmed and underleveled because I kept dying when I was just trying to farm, and he was like, I mean, you're a mid laner. You're there to put damage. It doesn't matter if you got a bunch of kills. And I'm like, you're right.
It also doesn't matter if you died 7 times. You know what I mean? Like, those 7 deaths don't mean anything if you get to full build and can put out a fuck ton of damage.
Yeah.
Late game, baby. Late game.
Late game, baby.
Yeah.
Late game. But anyway, I've been playing a lot more carry roles.
Got any more games?
Not really. I won't go anymore. It's just, like I said, playing carries is a lot more understandable now, than trying to carry out of the support role.
Yeah.
All right, Depp. We're 41 minutes in and we're getting to your games.
Sounds
Holy shit.
good. I'll yeah.
I didn't
Well, we had
realize.
like a discussion during Willow's
Yeah, we've had a
games,
couple
to be fair.
discussions.
Those were very
So-
important discussions.
Oh, no, they
Yeah.
were.
I've been grouping up with Fro and playing Assault because he's an Assault main. Not here to defend yourself, Fro, so fuck you. I've been pretty streaky. I'd get 4 wins, 3 loss. 4 wins, loss win, loss win, loss win. 3 loses, 3 wins. I saw Nev post that she's getting back into duel, and I'm like, I can do duel. And so I'm like, who do I want to play? And I was kind of just messing around. I picked Kukul Khan for my first duel. Went 0-9. I'm like, ugh.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
Who
Yeah.
were you fighting?
Receipts. I was fighting a Ymir.
Oh, so he would just like. do
He
his
was just
whole
bullying
kit.
me. He was
Yeah.
bullying me.
What a bully.
And then I played a game as Hercules. Went 6-3, but I lost because Pele late game. She just burst me down too fast. I couldn't do anything. And I had her pushed under her Titan, and it's like I couldn't kill her because she'd get away. And then it's like reset, and she just heal up in fountain and come out, and it was frustrating. And so I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. I'm gonna play Ymir. Played 3 duels as Ymir, won all 3.
Nice.
Ymir's so bully. First one I went 5-2. Second one 3-2. Third one 10-0.
Whoa.
Yeah. The 3-2 game, my opponent surrendered at 9 minutes. So it feels pretty good. I think they were all surrenders. What the first Ymir game was a mirror match. It was Ymir versus Ymir. And
I wonder if it was the same Ymir that you fought when you were playing Kukul Khan.
No, that Ymir was very apt because it was my first duel game, so it had my MMR at like 1500. Like I've just not gotten used to the different playstyles at the different MMRs in duel, and so that Ymir built very well. It all depends on how you start the game, because Ymir in duel wants Hunter's Blessing, and then you start your Bancrofts, you pick up Pen Boots, finish up your Bancrofts, and then it's time to decide, do you go defense or do you go into more auto attack, because you can pick up Demonic Grip, and it's optimal.
Optimal.
Yeah. Because
I'm surprised you don't get Poly.
Poly's later on, but you need power for Poly to work, right?
Agreed.
So Poly's usually a little bit later when you're really ready to start like taking objectives, because Bull Demon would be easy. Like Phoenix, you could just weave your abilities, throw a wall, block off some minions, slap a tower for monster damage.
Yep.
Yeah.
Poly's pretty
But
essential on Guardians and Duel, because you need
I
that
think I'm
extra
gonna be
damage.
a Ymir main in duel. I think that's my new calling right
Apparently
now.
you're the new Hatmaster.
No, there's a guy on YouTube, like Rainin or something. He does all Ymir duel videos. Dude's an animal. I think he's GM with Ymir.
Of course.
Like he's got a master's border for him and everything. It's dumb. He's dummy thick with Ymir. Dummy thick Ymir got even more dummy thick. So yeah, it's the games are a going, and Willow, MSI. What
All right.
what's going on here?
Do you have any idea what MSI is?
I heard mid
Yes.
thrown in, and I'm like, is that something to do with Nev? Because
No.
she's in the mid lane. Okay.
All right. So MSI is the mid-seasonal invitation. Basically, it's the DreamHack event that they used to do after the first split. They've moved it to the mid-season. It's just going to be at the studio. But basically, there are, 8 teams plus 6, so 14 teams coming to this event over 4 days. There are one of each console league. So the number one out of each section is coming in. So Hype Unit for Xbox, Team Rival for Xbox, Nemesis for PS4, and Out Cold Gaming for PS4. And then the top 2 teams from each of the SML leagues, so the European and North American leagues. So Armada and Sanguine from NA, and Simplicity and Flashpoint from EU are all coming in. All their games are going to be on Tuesday and Thursday. Or I'm sorry, Monday and Tuesday. Gosh. They're going to be playing to get the 2 seeds to join the big boys for the second half of the brackets. On Wednesday, they will start playing against the SPL teams. The 2 placement teams will be the bottom seeds of everything. And then we have 6 teams from the SPL. Rank 1 Team Rival, Dignitas, Pittsburgh Knights, E-United, Splice, and Renegades will all be joining to start this tournament. The winner is going to get a nice big prize pool, but really it's just opportunity to see where everybody is at the mid-season invitational, give the console and minor leagues some exposure. I think it's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see the second half. I'm sure that the console teams are going to have some struggles against the SML teams. It's going to be interesting to see what happens out of those brackets. Personally, I think Armada is going to look really good. I think Simplicity is going to look really good. Flashpoint has a chance. Their whole team is potentially going to make it this year. After last year, they weren't able to make it to the tournament. The console leagues have some good teams. I don't know how they're going to stack up against the PC players, though. Going into the SPL teams, there's a lot of teams that look really good. Dig has looked a little rough lately. They lost their last 2 sets. Rivals looked extremely good. Final K has been an animal. I know Fro would love to hear that. PBM's been playing great. The Renegades had a little bit of a lull, but they ended up qualifying because they beat Space Station. United's looked really strong in their last couple sets. Splices looked fantastic with Baskin. They did lose this week against PK, but that's because they didn't have Baskin. Gabam played pretty well as a sub, but Baskin's Baskin. And the Knights are really strong. They looked a little rough against Splice, but I think they're going to come into this tournament and play really, really good Smite. That's just the kind of team they are. But anyway, I just wanted to cover it. If you guys want to talk about it in Discord, that would be great. If you have any questions about what's going on with the tournament, I have all the details, when the games are. I don't think you guys care about the prize pooling, but if you do, I can give you the links. I'll put the links to the information in the Discord, so you guys can see what's going on for the tournament. I'm pretty excited, though. I love these kinds of events.
Hell yeah, brother. Battleground University.
Extremely
Rise
dramatic
of
pause.
Frenzy. Yes. I had to set the mood and then come in with the movie trailer guy. The Rise of Frenzy. Willow, you're all about this, man. This is your episode, Willow.
Apparently. Why don't you read the information about what Frenzy is, and then we can talk about it a little bit more.
You know, that sounds fantastic because Frenzy is a relic. We know it don't cost nothing. 120-second cooldown. Using this item grants all allied gods within 70 units 10% increased damage dealt to all targets, including objectives, and 15% attack speed increase for 5 seconds. This is your objective burn relic, everyone. And then for 500 gold, you can upgrade the Belt of Frenzy. It still has a 120-second cooldown, but using this item will grant you the normal effect, but the 15% attack speed increase for 8 seconds. They will also gain 10 penetration.
This is one of those relics.
So you get a couple more seconds on the attack speed. And pen. Yes.
This is one of those relics that is almost an insta upgrade unless you really don't have the money. So the reason I wanted to talk a little bit about Frenzy this week is because it's been seeing a lot of play in higher end Smite. It is almost always a support second relic. There are some times when if the support wants a blink, like if you're playing Terra and support and you want to be able to blink alt the enemy, it's viable to get it on your solo laner, but in every game in the last 3 weeks, at least one Frenzy has been picked up. And if one team picks up a Frenzy, it's almost necessary to pick up a second Frenzy. If you're not getting a Frenzy, you are risking losing objectives to the team that has Frenzy, because it just does so much for your team. That bonus attack speed, the bonus damage, the free pen, it's and I'm stumbling on my own words, Depp.
Yes.
This relic is one of those relics that, with the way Fire Giant works now, being enhanced, you almost need it. Because if you are fighting around Fire Giant and you pick somebody off, it's still extremely hard after 30 minutes to easily clear that Fire Giant. You know what I mean? That enhanced Fire Giant is really strong. It does a lot of damage, and if you're taking too long, even if you're 4v5, that Fire Giant is basically against you and can kill you while the enemy team is running at you while you're on fire. So unless you're able to almost full wipe a team, you need Frenzy to kill the Fire Giant. It's just giving free pen, bonus attack speed. It's just so strong for clearing objectives. It's really good in... Go ahead.
So I like to think of it this way. It's giving you the bonus effect of Shaman's Ring, right? 10% increased damage to all targets. So if it lasts for 5 seconds, not upgraded, not counting the attack speed, and you're doing, 100 damage a second, that's 50 extra damage. But if you got all 5 of you, that's 250 damage.
Yep.
Now, it gives you extra attack speed. So you're throwing an ability in there, which, newsflash, it's going to do more than 100 damage.
Yep.
And you're throwing autos at the objective. The damage increase from this is going to be ridiculous. And then extend that bonus damage from 5 to 8 seconds, so another 3 on top of the penetration.
Yep.
The numbers for this are ridiculous, considering every 2 minutes you can get a spike in power.
Yep. And I think that's what, Belts of Frenzy has always been pretty strong. Like, nobody's saying that Belt of Frenzy was bad. The problem was that you didn't need it. You know what I mean? You didn't need it in a team fight. You didn't need it to siege. You didn't need it to kill Fire Giant. But the way they enhanced the Fire Giant and the way that sieging is now with the way Phoenixes are pretty tanky and pretty strong, it's become a necessity. It's really like, and that's the thing. It's not just good in those situations. It's really good in a team fight. If you are popping your Frenzy in a 5v5 team fight, you're basically getting free damage compared to the enemy if they don't pop theirs. So you're doing way more damage than they are.
Oh, absolutely. And if there's a healer on the enemy team, this is going to eat through the healing that they're doing.
Exactly. It's almost like, I used to be a huge proponent of supports buying Shell and Sprint, because Shell is extremely good against auto attackers and really good against burst damage. And then Sprint is really good for chase, extremely good for escape. It gives you that hasten effect when you upgrade it. Both of those relics are extremely good for team fights. But Frenzy is now taken over as a more effective team fight relic that is also effective outside of those situations. Both Shell and Sprint are only good when you're 5v5 team fighting, or if you're trying to escape. Frenzy is a relic that you can now use to burn an objective, to siege some towers, to fight in a team fight. So its versatility has become extremely important. And the fact that it's on, what was the cooldown again? 120?
It's 120, 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2-minute cooldown. And then if your support is buying it and then getting a relic dagger, it's on, I think it's on like a 105 cooldown. So you're losing 15 seconds on that. You're having it up every fight. You're having it up every Fire Giant. Anytime you want to push a Phoenix, you have it up all the time. It is...
Yeah, Relic Dagger reduces the cooldown by 30 seconds, so...
Oh, 30 seconds? So it's a 90-second cooldown?
A 90-second cooldown.
That's ridiculous. Extremely good. It is extremely versatile. You can use it in multiple situations. It is viable in all those situations. That's why it's being picked up. I think it's a necessity at level 12 for supports. It's viable as a first relic if you're not sitting in a lane the entire time and you're looking to get a pick and then do an early Gold Fury, or do a pick and try and get Pyromancer. It's really viable in those situations too as a level 1 relic. I still think Shell or Sprint are the better level 1 relics for supports, but if you feel like you need to get Frenzy, it's very good on solo laners as a second relic, because solo laners are usually looking for a team fight relic for their second relic, because they're getting teleport first and then they want to get a team fight relic to really help the team, whether that's a Sprint or Ankh or even Frenzy now. It's just so good, and it as like if you're playing a carry, it feels good to have Frenzy because you are slapping. You hit so hard, you burn towers, you burn objectives. I love Frenzy right now. And when we talked about relics, like 6 months ago or something, it was before Christmas. We had a BU on all the relics. Remember that, guys?
Oh, yeah.
I said that Frenzy is almost unbuyable because there's just so many better relics. Well, now the way that the map works in Conquest, it's almost a necessity. Are you seeing a lot of it?
Well, it's the map and the meta. That's what.
Well, yeah, exactly.
What's good and
the meta is really late game. It's really important to be able to win objectives right now. Fire Giant is huge. Tower pushing is really tower pushing has always been really strong, but now it's even more important because it's harder to do. It's easier to defend right now, I think. Nev, are you seeing it a lot in your league?
Oh yeah, we usually have 1, if not 2 frenzies every game.
Yeah. I'm guessing Silent and Hiei are both liking the relic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you seeing it on the enemy team a lot too?
Not as often as we've been building it.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're doing a lot more damage to objectives when you're using it?
I mean, for an example, last night we didn't get to enhanced because the game was over before that point, but we're going through Fire Giant before the relic is even done.
That's really fast. That's really fast.
Yeah, we're very close to it. I'm not gonna spoil a potential comp that we're gonna be running in the next week or two, but let's say we already had a lot of attack speed to begin with, and we ran Frenzy with this comp, and we were able to shred everything very quickly.
Yep. So
Frenzy and Shoguns, you're giving your team a bonus, 35% attack speed?
And then you're forgetting that there's a god in the game that basically gives you a mini Frenzy called Fafnir.
Yeah, we had him in that game.
Frenzy,
Fafnir
Coerce.
with Frenzy and his 2.
Yep, Coerce is really good. Alright, I don't have anything else to talk about Frenzy. Buy Frenzy as a support. If you don't see it when you're a solo laner, buy it as a solo laner. Unless you really need Blink, you're probably going to get Frenzy.
Sounds like a plan.
I'm sorry if I encouraged all the enemy teams in your league to buy Frenzy.
They gotta listen to us first. And I seriously doubt they're doing that level of research.
Ouch.
Feels bad.
Ow.
Last week on Battleground of the Gods, the Hat of Purgatory, we challenged our hosts to We Will Rock You. That's right. Get the Rockin' Gods on the Joust map. Is what we did anyways. We, Fro, Nev, and I took Terra, Geb, and Hercules onto the Joust map.
Fro's
And
not
we
even
kicked
here to talk about
some
it,
ass.
but he ran that game.
He did.
Who did he play?
So, he was Hercules, I was Terra, Nev was Geb. And I think Nev didn't have a great time with this one.
I went 1, 6, and 15.
Hey, you had 15 assists.
I'm pulling up the receipts. I gotta
Deb
look
went
at this
6,
one.
2, and 13, and Fro as Hercules went 13, 2, and 7.
Yeah. Yeah, so at the beginning of the game, I forgot that we were supposed to go full blaster, and I just didn't hear Fro. I think Fro's been coming through real soft on comms. At least for me, he is.
Yeah.
And because he said, he kept on saying, "What are you building? What are you building?" I'm like, "What are you talking about, Fro? I'm just building Terra how I normally would." So I had picked up like Lotus Crown cooldown boots. I think I even got Midgardian mail because they had Set, Carnunos, and Cerberus. So I ended up swapping some out. I picked up a Spirit Desolation after the fact. I picked up Ratatouille and Bancrofts to like make up for it, and we were getting the set really didn't have a good time. That god is not designed for the Joust map.
No, he's not.
You know, I'm sure you can do some cheeky shit with his sand clones and teleporting to him through walls and stuff, but I feel like he's kind of in a weird place.
Set is, in my opinion, Set is one of those gods who has a really high ceiling, but his play style is very different than most gods, because he literally wants to be a cleanup guy. He wants your team to fight 4v5, and he wants to come in extremely late and pick off people as they try and run away. He's not a very good team fighter, and Joust is all about team fighting.
Well, he still managed to get 3 kills, and one of which was probably on me, if I had to guess.
Well, I believe that's all we got to say about that.
Did you guys run that again yesterday? I know you were looking for people.
We were trying to get you last night.
I was in my games.
I know, and then we tried to message you after, and you were not having it.
I didn't see it. Sorry.
Well, so what we had wanted to do is we had wanted to do it in Omni to be like super troll, but Rick wasn't having any of it, and I think we won our first Omni game, and then we lost the other 2. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. It's just we got matched up against a couple like just really toxic teams. Like, I don't know, they're always picking like the cheese stuff for Omni draft.
It's try hard ranked match of the day.
Yeah, it's try hard ranked. So
that's one of the reasons why I don't like Omnipotence, because I just want to do stupid stuff, and then there's enemy teams that do like the most try-hardy, like Chang'e and Loki and Hercules and Afro. It's just like super try-hard, and you're like, this is
healers. Healers are the default bans to start, but then some teams ends up getting Loki, some team ends up getting Nuwa.
And neither of those are fun to play
if they get both. No, well, not when Loki can stay invisible 100% of the time. And Nuwa's ulting every 15 seconds.
There's just too many. There's just too many trolly things that are like broken in a game mode like that. Like Nuwa being able to ult literally every 15 to 20 seconds is not fun.
No, especially when it's like you start level 5, and so
she's ulting right out of base.
You only have like I think the normal amount of gold, 1,500 to start. So it's not like 3,000 where you could get a full item to, let's say, have magic protections against that god. But yeah, shit happens. It's how it goes, But Willow would like for the Hat of Purgatory this week to have the support role be feared. And by that, we mean Hades.
Oh, I see what you did there.
He is the support. He has a debuff. He's got a slow. He's got a fear. He's got a heal. And his ultimate becomes a pillar of protections while shredding and pulling your opponent to their doom.
All right, how do we want to pick this week? Do we just want to randomly pick somebody? Do we want to do a coin toss? Or is it just going to be on me because you guys did last week?
It sounds like it's on you because we did last week.
Well, shit.
You know what? This is that opportunity for Hades to carry the team because your ADCs are
rough.
No bueno. Yeah.
All right. I guess
honestly though, if you could get your ADC in comms, because a lot of people underutilize Hades heal, because it heals friendly gods too. Like it heals your teammates.
Yes.
That's what a lot of people don't realize.
It's very, very small radius, but it does heal your team.
They have to hug you.
Yes. All right.
Yes. Sean Connery.
I guess I'm gonna be attempting this. Don't worry, I'll buy Frenzy.
All right. Yes, optimal. Frenzy ult. Get wrecked.
Dude, Frenzy ult, shred. Just dead.
Shred. You're done now.
Boom, you're done now.
Boom, you're done now. Oh, man. Community Corner. Last week. The Pet Shop. Nev, I'm going to have you lead us on this one.
Okay, I might need some assistance because there was a lot of chatter happening in there.
I think most of them
But
are
we
marks.
appreciate everybody.
Where's our mods at?
We appreciate... Well, I did go in there, and then I got trolled by my co-hosts. So, you know, what can you do? All right, last week we asked you, who is leaving the pet store with a new pet, and what did they get? We didn't want any lame-ass answers like, Scotty's got Calder. Boom, we're done now. We didn't want any of that. We wanted you to be creative.
Shit, I gotta think of something new.
Oh, well, get depped.
Get
All
wrecked.
right. So, Glacier says Odin has 2 ravens. Obviously. I see what you did there. Oh, and Lanter said, no Hades leaves with a Cerberus type, huh? And I was like, no. But I'll read it because you wrote in, so thank you. Ghoster, Merlin walks into a pet store and sees an owl, a cat, and a snake. Which one does he walk out with? Well, all 3, because we combined them into a chimera. Boom, magic bitches.
Chimera.
Well, you know, Kerberos, Cerberus, Ulier.
Okay, I can see it. Yeah,
Well,
English.
I don't know how to
It's
read.
logical.
Why do I have to read? I don't know how to read. All right.
Welcome to Battleground of the Gods, an illiteracy podcast.
But at least I can write.
There you go.
Is Willow muted? Did he leave?
I think he left.
No.
Okay.
I'm
Get
tagging
get
all
depth.
the ones that you need to read.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Key says Geb would pull a Patrick from SpongeBob and get a pet rock. I like that. That's cute.
Yeah.
Ash says, see, Nike doesn't go to a pet shop. She goes and finds pets in the wild, finding an eagle, owl, and a condor. With these pets, she forms the birds of prey.
I like it.
I like it too. Dude, there were some really good answers in this.
Ghoster comes back around. I feel like Jormungandr would take a miniature pincher. Anubis would obviously take home a naked mole rat. Kukulkan would have a niffler, maybe 3. Accidents happen. Good Harry Potter reference there.
You know what?
That led to
I
a
read
really
that,
long
and I'm like,
conversation.
Maybe Fafnir has the niffler.
Oh.
They all like gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kuzumbo would have a Norwegian rat, add some ooze. Mercury, a cheetah, may have to get it off the black market. Poseidon is an old softie, so he would get a goldfish. And Loki would have fleas because fuck Loki.
Because fuck Loki.
Oh, shit.
Best
Get
answer.
wrecked. Boom. You're done now.
All right. Coffin Monkey says Chalk would have a giraffe and he would name him Fred, and he would move to Madagascar and become Lord of the Lemurs. He would build a lemur army and march them to the jungle and murder all of his rival Mayan gods and become King Chalk, rider of giraffes, ruler of lemurs, and the Lord of the Mayans. And then he would settle down to a quiet life of selling vegetables at a roadside market on the south side of Indianapolis called We Know Corn.
I feel like that's a jab at me,
I feel like those are
Somehow.
all great references.
but the
Very
lore is
detailed.
deep. The lore is deep with this one. Conversation.
See, this is where I tuned in and I said, as the
Yeah.
person who reads the community corner answers, can we move the convo, please?
You should have just deleted everything.
Oh, it was a long
Just
conversation.
Someone posts, just start deleting.
Ghoster says, okay, I'll add another one for you to find. Tyr would have an African gray parrot so he can stop talking to a sock puppet. I like that. I like that a lot. That's cute.
What if his hand turns into a little bird perch?
Oh gosh.
I love it.
Instead of
I
a
love
Manny, it's just one of those or instead of like a hook, it's just like a post for a bird to sit on.
Yeah, it's like a little like dowel rod or something
Yeah.
coming out for a bird to perch on.
Coffin Monkey coming back in. Cuckoo would have a cow so it could fly around his tornadoes like a 1996 hit blockbuster movie called Tornado, starring Bruce Campbell and Shannon Sturgis. Cuckoo would have a shark so it could fly around in his tornadoes like the 2013 blockbuster movie called Sharknado, starring Tara Reid. I see what you did here.
Optimal.
Pop culture references. I love it.
There's another one
that somebody
else did.
I'm not reading Ghoster's next one. Somebody else can read that one.
You're skipping Froze?
I don't like it. Oh wait, yeah, somebody can read Froze too. I didn't see it.
Nev, Cuckoo would have a house so it could fly around in his tornadoes like the 1939 hit blockbuster The Wizard of Oz starring Judy Garland. At Coffin Monkey, did I do it right?
It's so good. Bro, that was optimal.
Top tier.
But I'm not reading Ghosters. So
No, I'm not reading that one.
Ghoster said Ratatasker would have a squirrel so whenever he gets horny, he can release some tension and it's not bestiality.
Vio said Ghoster, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Cringe face.
I'm grimacing to that one.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna add a grimace to that as well.
Oh, I missed one.
Yeah, Coffin said Cabracken would have a Crabacken.
Oh. I see what you did there.
That's a Willow joke right there.
No.
That's a Depp joke.
That's a Depp joke. Or a Nev joke.
No, it was a Willow joke because of the typo.
Ah.
Wow. Nailed that one, didn't you?
Alright, next up we have Blaze. The following gods will walk into a pet store to find themselves a new companion in life. Kukulkan adopted a bearded dragon, for obvious reasons. Hades adopted a cockroach because he wanted a pet that would never die. Hell adopted a chameleon because they can blend in wherever they go. Was adopted an anaconda. We know why. If you don't know, you need to reference our last Drunk Lore episode.
Lore. Yes.
Loki watches all the snakes and decides to adopt crickets as a pet. Cabracken adopts Loki as his pet because then he's the better Loki and he needs to train his new I can't. Please.
That one was good,
Jormungandr adopted the entire botchy girthworms as his pet since they named a team after him. Oh,
cute.
Silent Aces says Ymir gets a polar bear to live in the ice with him, and Ho Yi gets a hunting dog to follow his marks around. That's clever.
Yep,
I like
good.
that.
Yeah.
And Zeus gets a lion, an eagle, and a great white shark. Why? To remind everyone that he is still the king of everything. No one has claim to the throne, and it's not going to change anything.
Optimal.
Optimal. Silent is not excited about the next patch.
It doesn't sound like it.
No.
I wonder why.
What about you guys? I have two.
Go ahead, Nev. You do your two.
One of mine was already stolen. I said Merlin Owl for obvious reasons. But then I was like, Medusa, well, she would need to get a pet rock because everything that she looks at turns to stone, so it wouldn't turn to stone if it was already a rock, right? But maybe she could adopt Geb as her pet because he's a rock. Does it work that way? I'm genuinely curious.
It seems like it. People are doing that.
Okay,
yeah.
All right, so Medusa would adopt Geb. There you go.
I had to do some sarcastic claps for that one.
Oh,
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Optimal.
I'll be here all week.
This is like a classic Nev joke. She's gonna adopt a pet rock because everything she touches or looks at turns to stone.
So I thought of it this way. You know, we've got Coffin Monkey's for-profit animal shelter.
Right.
All those, you know, I think he's trying to kill them, really. So we need to send some gods in to adopt those lonely animals. And we got Hades coming in to claim his pet Cerberus.
Yep.
We've got Achilles coming in to claim Fenrir because he's a good boy and he knows how to heal.
Okay.
Get it? Achilles heel?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we've got Zeus coming in to adopt on her because they're both king.
Well done.
King of the jungle, king of the skies.
Well done.
That was good.
I thought so.
All right, so I was gonna say that Izanami goes in to pick out a pet, but she doesn't get anything because everything she touches dies. So
I was gonna say she picks up a doll.
Oh God, no.
She doesn't have pets. She has dolls. She seems like one of those people
Please
that has
no.
like a collection. On
I don't
want
to see
like
creepy
circle tables
God,
that goes up.
I'm not
by
gonna
tiers.
lie. I hate when people play that skin on my team because that voice pack creeps me the fuck out.
Oh dear.
Oh, do you want to be my
Will
friend?
you be my friend?
No, I will not be your friend. I do not like you.
Oh,
Welcome,
dear.
challengers, to Battleground of the Gods, an ASMR podcast.
Oh, ugh. Now I got shivers. No, thank you.
I love that skin. That's the only Izzy skin I play.
It is, and you know, it's every time. No stopping it.
Oh, I got another one.
But
Osiris.
okay, go ahead.
Osiris walks in to pick out a pet, and he gets an anaconda because you know why.
I see what you did there.
I got it.
If you don't understand that, you need to reference our last struggle.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
I'm having
wait a
deja vu.
I feel like we've been here before.
What year is it?
What do you...
I think we need to do another drunk lore soon. If you want another drunk lore,
Yes,
add us on
please.
Discord or on Twitter and tell us you want another drunk lore.
Well, I think
And
Fro did an
tell us
unofficial poll already in our Discord, and
did
it was
he?
a resounding yes.
What pantheon or
Ooh,
gods
yeah.
should we
Let us
cover?
know
There
what
you
we should
go.
cover.
Yeah. So we already know that we want to do a drunk lore, but what should our next drunk lore be on? That's a good point.
Yeah, because I mean, I feel like we've covered a fair bit of Greek. We've done the Greek pantheons, we've done the Norse, we've done Egyptian. I mean, like, we could cover the voodoo pantheon and just vamp about that for a while, but I feel like that's some heavy research. Yeah.
If you guys have a concept that you want to do, Nev and Fro will figure it out.
And Depp, you know, I throw in the jokes every now
Oh,
and
true,
then.
you do.
My thing is like re-saying something Fro or Nev has said and then being like, oh, so it's like this. That's like completely ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I try to make a joke out of the lore. Optimal. All right. Next week's Community Corner. Let's say that you are the owner of an esports organization. What is your organization's name and what is their logo? You know, give us a couple descriptors. You know, do you got an animal on there? Do you got colors? Let us know. Because reasons. And that is the new Community Corner. This one's going to be good. I got a feeling.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I hope there's some really cool concepts that come out of this. If you have artwork, that'd be even cooler, because I love that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I don't
And
expect it,
for
though.
that artwork. For that artwork, you could tweet at us at Battleground of, or you could find us in the Discord in the Community Corner section. There will be a link in the description, and there's also a link on our Twitter. Come join the Battleground.
Yeah, come join the Discord. We've had a couple new people recently. There's always people looking to play. There's always discussion about Smite when there's changes or things that happen. We talk about esports. We just chit-chat about stupid stuff. You can be involved.
We got a channel for games that are not Smite.
Yep. You can be involved in the community corner. You can try out the Hat of Purgatories. Hit us up. We love chatting in the Discord. You can add us even if you have a question specifically for us, or if you have an idea for what you'd like on the show. Hit us with it.
Heck yeah. And that reminds me, I believe we've got a Teespring store where you could get some crazy ass merch. I heard we don't have syrup shower curtains, but
No.
we got some pretty good stuff.
We got
on there.
leggings. There's posters.
Yep,
there's...
leggings.
Is the towel still there? I think there's a towel.
There might be a towel.
There's a bunch of different shirts.
You know what? You're gonna have to go there and see what we got to know what we got.
Yeah.
And
Ooh,
there'll be a link to that in the description of this episode as well.
Yep.
And let us all not forget about wildmonkeydesign.com.
WildMonkeyDesign.com.
For all your design needs, and they hooked us up with the bitchin' logo that you see on your podcast app every time you download your next botg fix. That's right. It is the best logo. We went from 0 to #1 podcast for Smite after we got that new logo. I'm pretty sure that's exactly what happened. So just make sure you're not a Smite podcast if you go get a logo from them, because then we might be in some trouble.
Because we have the bitchinest
So as
one.
long as you don't do that, yes, we are the bitchinest one. Don't try to be better than us for Smite. Maybe do it for League of Legends or some other game. Dota, I think, is another MOBA, right? Am I getting this?
Deb, you're rambling now.
I don't know what I'm rambling, but
And we can't also forget
yes,
our outro music, which is probably playing right now as I try to play Depp off of this episode.
Stop. No.
Is brought to you by NCS.
Can't stop, won't stop.
No copyright sounds.
No copyright sounds for all your non-copyright sounds needs. NCS. I believe they have a YouTube as well, so if you want to get some of that easy listening, head on over. I have been your host, Dep Nation. You can find me at Dep Nation wherever it matters and wherever it doesn't, probably as well. And if you can't find me under that, try Dep Nation _. Nev, where can we find you?
In most places at Nevea03.
Willow, where can we find you?
In most of those same places at Willow1771.
Sounds good. We will see you on the other side of the battleground.
Bye-bye. Bye.